the Spy Television, the Spy Uganda, Detective UG. My name is Andrew Rumba, your speaker. I am in Fort Portal town, and to be specific, I'm at the office of KRC, Fort Portal. Now KRC is KRC Uganda, not Fort Portal. And we are handling, this time round, we are talking about stunted growth. According to research of 2022 and 2016, 38% of Tooro's children under 5 years are stunted. In other words, every 10 children you meet, 5 of them are stunted. And now, those children under 5 years, once they are stunted, it means they'll have difficulties in their growth. So KRC has done some research and would like to share with us. And also, this research was also done by UBOS, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, and Uganda Demographics and Health Survey. They are working hand in hand because this department actually feeds into UBOS. So that's the research that they did in 2016 and 2022. 38% of children under 5 years in Tooro are stunted. It means you're not having a balanced diet. But nationally, the survey as of 2022, this is 2024. So 2022, the survey of 2022 indicates that 26% of the entire children of Uganda are actually stunted. Now, to discuss this, I have Comrade Eric Oteba. He's the Programs Manager, Food Systems and Nutrition from KRC. Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. And I have Miss Uwera Caroline. She's the Project Officer, and all of them too are nutritionists. So when you're talking about nutrition, these are the people with the right information. I'm simply reading, but they have actually gone into the field and they bring us this statistical data. Let me begin with you, Mr. Eric. Take us through what ignited you to do such research, what even ignited you to do such a course in education career. To see that you left engineering, you left the other things, and you focused on nutrition. What were you trying to solve?
Thank you so much. Maybe for starters, again, my name is Eric Oteba, and happy to meet you, Mr. Andrew. I am a program manager in food systems and nutrition with Kabarole Research Resource Centre. Now we rebranded as KRC Uganda. As KRC Uganda, we operate in the entire Tooro region. Yeah, we have various interventions in Tooro region, but specifically under our mandate, we have interventions around food systems and nutrition, and these are more in Kabarole district. But since the Fort Portal city is also rising, we want to focus on the challenges around the food systems in Fort Portal tourism city. Now, maybe back to the question that you asked, what triggered me to do the course in nutrition?
You want to study food?
Yes.
What do you want to do with food?
Professionally, I'm actually a food scientist, but I also mastered in nutrition. Now, we have so many issues around nutrition and food in our communities. These are local problems that we have. And I picked interest because at the end of the day, there is nothing we can do without food. Okay? Food is more like a fuel to our body.
Food is an engine.
Food is an engine. And food is something that can run, things the way a fuel runs machines. So if you look at Uganda at large, we have so many issues that we need to fix around the food system. Okay? You look at just the statistics you mentioned there. Whereas Uganda is having some strides, we are registering some progress in stunting. 4 years ago, I think 6 years ago actually, we had 28% of children under 5 stunted. Now we have 26%. So a reduction in 2% when you look at stunting is actually huge. But now when you come back to Tooro, it's a different case, okay? Out of every 10 children, 4 are stunted, that is 40%. Just of recent, the study that UBOS did of recent showed that 8.7, yes, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, showed that we had 38.7% of our children studied. But that is just a slight reduction from 40.6% that was registered in 2016. Look at that. So it means we still have a big problem. This is a local problem. At the end of the day, if our children are stunted, we are not going to have productive children in the future. And when a child is stunted at that age, when they grow up, they are going to find a way of replacing what they lost. So we're also going to have other issues related to overnutrition. The diabetes, the hypertension, the cancers will also come in to fill what the child missed due to stunting.
Cancer comes to fill in.
Exactly, because you're now...
But is that a positive feeling?
It is not a positive feeling. so you can just imagine.
When we talked about the feeling, I thought it's going to help me.
No. It's actually spoiling the entire thing.
Diabetes and cancer.
Yes. So when maybe coming back to what we do as KRC, we are trying to stimulate demand for healthy food, for nutritious food in our city, for safe food. If you look at the city, it is growing with so many people. That means people are also changing diets from our local food, the traditional food that was diverse, that was well prepared. Now we are going to fast foods. Okay, we have the number of street vendors rising. So that
chapati in the street.
Chapati. But are we looking at the safety of this chapati? How is it prepared? Is it prepared in the right conditions? Is the oil not being reused? So we are looking at all these the hygiene issues around it. But also
reusing this oil too much is also a negative thing.
It is negative because the more you reuse the oil for maybe the chips, maybe the whatever
Chapati.
Yes, you're burning the oil, the same oil. So at the end of the day, we are exposing people to cancer because we are producing cancerous cells out of all that. So that is why now cancer is not a disease for only the rich people.
The elites those days.
The elite those days. These days, everyone is actually exposed
to cancer. Yes,
to cancer. Yeah, and maybe briefly again, we are no longer suffering from only undernutrition. Okay, it's now a double burden. Actually, sometimes we call it triple burden because we have undernutrition, which presents as stunting, okay, a low height for age, but also translates into the brain, okay. The child is going to slow down, not going to be active
in grasping ideas, in class,
all that.
When I don't have balanced diet,
yes,
it does not only affect my height, it also affects my brain.
Exactly, and that is the most important. So when we look at people in Uganda, many of us could actually be studied, the way we do things is
either by height or brain.
Exactly. So it's not only.
I hope I'm not one of those.
I don't think you're one of them. Yes. So
because of stunting,
yes,
not having a nutritional feeding from the growth,
yes,
from childhood, it affects your height and your capacity to think.
Exactly.
The brain.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to that. Okay. Maybe just under the undernutrition, forms. One of them is stunting, which is a big problem in Tooro. Okay. But the other is called wasting. Okay. Wasting. Or acute malnutrition.
Acute.
Yes, which results from inadequate food intake within a small period of time. You probably not had enough food, or you probably had one meal, maybe 5 to 6 days. So you realize that you're losing weight. Okay, could happen with anyone, but mostly children under 5 years and pregnant and most affected. That problem is not as much in Tooro, but again, because some of the districts in Tooro host refugees. If you look at the refugee settlements, we have many of those.
Chakatu refugees.
Exactly, we have Chakatu refugees. We have
Kabarole.
Yes, so we see that. Now, another form of undernutrition is what we call hidden hunger. Hidden hunger. Hidden hunger presents when we do not have enough micronutrients in the body. Okay, micronutrients such as iron, such as vitamin A, minerals and vitamins.
Hidden hunger.
Hidden hunger. So you don't actually see some.
You don't realize that you're hungry, but actually you're hungry.
Exactly. So the food that the food that we are consuming may be missing out on some of those really important minerals.
The stomach could be full if you are satisfied, but actually you are hungry.
So maybe you're satisfied out of a food that gives you more of energy. Okay. Maybe cassava. Look at cassava. Look at banana that is mostly grown and eaten in this video. It does not have those micronutrients that enable us to see well, that probably boost our immune system. Okay, we've seen children that are suffering from rickets. Okay, of course that one you can see. At the end of the day, there is a mineral vitamin
they missed.
Yes.
Hey, so this is a sign that some food was missing.
Some food was missing. Now that is undernutrition. Now, when we look at overnutrition, it's also a problem.
Hey, when you overeat the difference.
Yes.
So you must balance.
You must
undernutrition, overnutrition. You must be in the middle.
You must be in the middle. The right quantities at the right time, okay? But also the right foods. Look at overnutrition. We also had cases. Overnutrition had cases of hypertension, high blood pressure, had cases of diabetes. We've had cases of cancer, okay, within us in Fort Portal City. You know, as the city is growing,
the disease is also growing.
Exactly. So you can look at that, okay. Now, I wanted us to focus on stunting.
Yes.
Okay. We focus on stunting. There is what we call the first 1,000 days of life.
The first 1,000 days of life.
First 1,000 days of life, which is also the window of opportunity. Okay? It's called the window of opportunity. Now, the first 1,000 days of life are days from conception, when you conceive your child, okay, up to when the child makes 2 years, or the child's second birthday. If you count roughly that period, it's actually 1,000
days
yes.
of life, or window of opportunity.
Now, this 1,000 days of life is where we can do as much as possible to stop stunting. You get it? If we do everything right
within these 2 years,
okay,
the child can have the required minimum or maximum
height, but
nutrients.
Also nutrients.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Now, it means a mother that is going to conceive should be well nourished. Okay, she should get food from diverse sources. Okay, but also should go for ANC, antenatal care, to receive that counseling from the nurse. Okay, to receive the folic acid, to receive the iron, and whatever advice that she needs. She should also have the right weight. That is why there's an emerging issue, by the way. We have a high number of girls, teenage girls, by the way, that are getting pregnant. And you know, with the teenage girls, sometimes they have that kind of they have fear to probably go to the
yes, that inferiority complex. They fear to. First of all, it was wrong for you to get pregnant, and now by going there, you're exposing yourself. Yeah.
So what does that mean? It means they're not going to get enough knowledge. Okay. Yes. To do that nutrition, how they should feed, what they should do to raise a normal child. Okay. Now, imagine a mother is not having good diet, okay, as she's pregnant, and probably she has also given birth. Now, giving birth probably to a child that is low weight, low birth weight, below 2.5 kilograms, and maybe because she has not had adequate food, but you know, it means also her breast milk is going to be limited. Okay, so you can imagine what that child is going to go through. Okay, now. Ideally, we expect a child under 6 months to breastfeed on only breast milk, But if the mother has not been receiving enough food, it means that child is not going to receive enough milk. Okay? And these are the most important days in that child.
The first 1,000 days.
1,000 days. Probably that mother has also not received enough knowledge from the postnatal care. Now, maybe just take it. There was, you know, normally as a district and as a city, we have what we call the health sector reviews. The most recent one showed that very few mothers actually went for ANC, for antenatal care, and it's even worse with postnatal care. Now, if a mother has not gone for postnatal care, it means they are not going to get that knowledge. But also, we have very few mothers going for postnatal care. After giving birth, I am Okay,
That's all.
Stay home. That's it. That one. Now, also when you look at Tooro and Kabarole for Potosi, look at it critically. We have abundance, a lot of food, and we even export food to the nearby cities, and even Kenya and Tanzania. But we have a big problem. If you look at there was a study that KRC did also in 2016-2017, something around food diets. Okay, we had about 200 mothers. We tasked them to take note of the food they ate on a daily basis. Okay, I think it was probably a week or something. And you know what we realized? Very few households, very few mothers actually consume food from different sources, okay, different groups. The fruits and vegetables, the fish, the meat, protein, but also the broad groups of energy giving, bodybuilding, and the protective foods, which are the minerals and vitamins. Very few. Now, we are a region that produces a lot of banana. You find people eating banana, matoke, and maybe sauce, and over and over, matoke and that sauce. Matoke.
Is that a problem?
It's a big problem.
Eating with matoke is a problem.
Now, we shall get to that. Also, some people can decide to have, they call it akaro.
Millet.
Yes. Millet today, millet tomorrow.
Yes.
Millet, you get.
Is that a problem?
Now, this is monotonous. Because at the end of the day, if you look at the banana.
Now, let's first leave about whether it is monotonous or not monotonous. Is it a problem?
It's actually
to my health?
Big problem, because
eating my kalo every day.
You're eating your kalo, that means you're getting only 1 or 2 nutrients. Feeding from only one food. You're losing out on the proteins, you're losing out on the vitamins and minerals. So you can look at that. Okay. It's actually a big problem, because if we have milk, we have all these vegetables at our disposal. We have all these the soya, the beans, all this. Why don't we have them in our meal? All of them. Okay.
Okay. What about eating matoke every day? Is it also a problem?
It's also a problem.
How
because matoke is actually less nutritious.
Less nutritious?
Yes.
What do you mean?
We only, from matoke, we are only getting energy, okay, and probably also potassium. Potassium in there, but we do not have the important protein that enables our children to grow. You get it? But bodybuilding food is lacking. We also do not have as many vitamins and minerals in it. Yes. So we are limiting ourselves by eating that one type of.
I grew up, I am a child of this soil.
Yes.
I grew up eating matoke, karo every day.
Now, if at least your source had, maybe milk, or you also had some eggs somewhere.
If we were eating a lot of
if you had some yam somewhere, if you had pumpkin,
potato,
avocado, all these food that we have. If we had all that, then we are good to go. We are not going.
That's why I'm not stunted.
Yeah, that's
why I'm not stunted. Let me come to Uwera. Uwera, let's begin also from the aspect of what type of food you think a child must not miss in the first 1,000 days of life, or window of opportunity. I just learned a word from you to now.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Again, my name is Uwera Caroline. I work with KRC as a project officer, and of course, by background, I'm a nutritionist. So when we look at the window of opportunity as a period that is spanning from a mother's concept. I mean, when you conceive, the sperm and the egg, they come together. Then we are beginning to count the first 1,000 days of life. And of course, we are spanning until the child is 2 years of age. So, firstly, we need to look at the welfare of the mother if we are to prevent stunting. And of course, we don't only look at nutrition only. No, we look at all the things Mr. Eric has talked about. ANC, of course, you're sleeping under mosquito net, preventing diseases, taking your, deworming pills and all that. But when you look at nutrition, we have basically 3 food groups that we are going to emphasize on. Right?
3.
Yes, 3 food groups.
Number 1?
We have the energy-giving foods, all what we call some call them the energy-giving foods. Yeah. So these energy-giving foods, we look at those foods that give energy to the body, because of course they are energy-giving foods. So
let's give an example of those such foods.
Yeah, that is the role of.
Let's give an example.
So
of
we
such
have
foods.
the yams.
Yams.
Yeah, we have the matoke, we have the rice, we have the sweet potatoes, we have the Irish, we have many other foods. So these are the foods we classify as energy giving. We have the maize, we have the posho. But here, of course, when we are looking at, when we are advising mothers to eat these foods, it is important that they go for the whole foods. Yeah, eat your maize. Eat your maize the way it is. If it is maybe eating matoke, you go for the matoke. Don't go for this, the processed one. You want to look at, having maximizing, maximizing his nutrients. So it is very important that mothers look at the whole grain, the whole.
Okay, category number 2, foods.
For the category number 2, we look at the protein-giving foods or the body building. Yeah, because of course they are body building. When we look at these children, when we look at the child that is being formed into the mother's womb, we look at a child that is having a growth that is increasing. There is a high demand for body building because you're looking at cells coming together, building, replicating, and all that. Yeah, so we look at bodybuilding foods, very essential during this period, because the child is, there is a demand. There's a demand for these bodybuilding foods, and among them we have, of course, 2 categories. We can categorize them into 2. We look at those that got from the animal side, the meat, the eggs, the milk, the fish, from the from animals. Then we can also look at those from plants. We have the soya, we have the peas, we have the beans, we have simsi, we have many other plant sources that can give us this body building function. Then we also look at the other category, which is called the protective foods.
Protective foods.
Yes, they protect the body, but also
body armor.
But they also provide a number of micronutrients that support. These food groups, they all work together. They
supplement each other.
They supplement each other. Yes. So you find that if you haven't eaten all of them in a balanced way, you're compromising your body's growth. Yeah. So if you don't eat enough of the energy giving, the body is going to resort to other means. So that the heart has to beat. You have to walk. You have to do all these other things. So
the lungs have to work.
The lungs have to. The brain.
The eyes have to be clear.
Yes, everywhere is using energy. So you need energy to work. But of course, eating this energy also should depend on your energy output. Because if you say, my body is working even when I'm seated, then you eat more of the nutrients that you require. Your job is just for sitting. You're this pregnant woman, but you don't engage in a lot of your exercises. You don't do exercise. You don't walk. From work, Kaboda takes you home. From home, you get another Kaboda. You don't have time to even walk, So you find that you're even getting a bigger baby, and yet, you should be walking. So ideally, these are all these food groups. They definitely complement each other.
Okay.
So that is the pregnant side. So you need to ensure that at least you eat about 3 meals a day.
Breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Yeah, and then you have to add in some other nutritious snacks. Yeah, you can have a yellow banana. You can have that cup of porridge with milk, so that you can increase the demand, because a pregnant woman has higher demand of nutrients. I mean, there is something, okay, not something, but someone growing, a whole human being growing inside you. So this person also requires nutrients as much as you, like at the same time you as a mother. Yeah, so it is important.
So in other words, 1 month is feeding two stomachs.
2 stomachs. So of course that is there. You will not eat yourself food like my friend Eric here. Yeah. So you find that you need also to increase on the nutrient intake. I mean, there is an extra demand. Yeah. So at least eat those 3 meals. Sometimes women get, issues. Everyone gets different experiences when it comes to pregnancy. Find someone who totally has no appetite. Yes, you're not eating, but someone else needs this food. Yeah. So you need to, first of all, you need to identify what your body needs. You need to know which foods are good for you. What do you need to eat? I mean, given this knowledge of the food groups, you need to know, okay, I've eaten from this category, I've eaten from this. I don't have appetite, what am I going to do? Identify those key foods that you can leverage on, so that you can still feed your body, and still feed your child, and also you yourself to eat these vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. In addition to that,
I want to come back to Eric. Do you have something to add?
yeah, because of course we are still talking about these 1,000 days of life. Yeah. So that is just a beginner's. I mean, it's a whole subject you can discuss.
All
I
day.
don't know the entire week. Okay? Because we are just looking at the pregnant side. Okay? Now the child is born. Maybe Eric can start from there. Now the child is born. We have our baby here. There's still a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Eric, I want you to, when we were growing up, I studied from schools around here. Actually, it was known in our class that people from the mountains, they were Ponzi. Those ones were very good at sciences. Then they were Tooro, who grew up eating matoke and Irish potato. For us, that we are good in arts. And you could also see it in class. Those guys from the Ronzoro would beat us in sciences, maths, science, and so on. Physics, chemistry. Those people from the mountains could do much better than us. When you're talking about matoke, that when you eat matoke without balancing the other things, you get a problem in terms of grasping the ideas in class, especially studying. This actually has reminded me when we were studying. And then when I grew up, I asked why. Why do we have a difference? I said those people, they eat fish from the lake, veg cattle. But then also, they have other things that they grow, that they eat, which we don't here. Here, our staple food has always been in Tooro here. Here, they were Tooro especially, matoke and carrot. Matoke and carrot. Then when I grew up, I asked, but why do these people manage sciences? Everybody from that side is doing science. Then for us, they said, no, those people have a different type of diet. But Tooro here rarely eat fish. Yet those people almost in every meal, they have fish. Why? Because they go and fish it and eat it themselves. Could you really expound on this more? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Does that have an effect?
Okay, now I think you're right, 100%, because eating one type of food, okay, from one food group every other time, you're not going to actually get all the nutrients that you require. Okay. Now, I was giving an example. Growing up, my mom used to every time we would have fish at home, okay, she would serve me with the head of the fish. The head that has
the eyes and
everything, but she focused on. She kept telling me, "You eat." I think that was the brain.
The brain.
Yeah, of the fish. She told me if you eat the head of the fish with everything, you're going to be very intelligent in class. And I kept all my children. I kept serving them with fish. I said, you see, even those small, the silver fish, the one we call mukene, yes, very nutritious, very nutritious. So, and as much as many people think it's maybe food for the low class or the poor, it actually has abundance of nutrients, a lot of protein. More
than the matoke grew up eating.
Exactly. Now you look at the fish, look at milk, look at what is this, eggs. You know, the whole development or the modernity has spoiled things. Because we used to eat this food in wholesomeness, like Faro put it. Now, like the milk, these days we have processed. Added additives.
Powdered milk.
Powdered milk. We've tampered with the nutrients. But imagine the milk that you just got from a cow and probably boiled. So we have all that nutrient, and the child is able to drink. The child is able to eat all these fruits that they get out there.
Okay.
They are going to be very bright.
Okay. Now, I always want to, when we identify a problem, let's now start looking for solutions. So begin as we wind up this session. What does Tooro need to do for his children? Beginning with you.
Okay. Thank you.
What do we need to focus on now?
I think maybe even before we go to that focus, there are things that we've done as KRC. Okay? KRC Uganda. Now, we've also received support.
First of all, the research alone that you've done to identify that there is a problem, it's part of the solution.
It's part of the solution.
Yes.
I think enabling people, showing people that there is a problem in Tooro, okay?
It's already part of the solution.
It's already part of the solution. I am happy that through the different platforms, many people have actually gotten to accept that we have a problem in Tooro and we have to address it. Now, addressing malnutrition and all the issues around the food system is not, it's actually a complex.
It's not a one-day event.
It's not a one-day event.
It's actually not an event.
It's not a one-man.
It's an activity.
Business, okay? We realize that it's actually requiring a multi-sector kind of approach.
Sectoral kind of approach.
Multi-sectoral kind of approach. We need input from all the departments.
Yes.
We need input
all
from
the
political
stakeholders,
leaders, from the religious leaders. If you look at
the families themselves,
families, consumers, the farmers, the street vendors. Look at the departments in the district and the city. Education department, health. It's not only the health department that is mandated. Look at production, look at trade and industry. All these have input and
to address the
problem. To address a nutrition sensitive problem. Okay. If you look at maybe trade, okay, for us to access food, nutritious food in the
somebody must trade in it.
Yes, somebody must trade.
Must bring it to buy.
All that. Now, as KRC Uganda, we've received support from UBOS. UBOS is one of our partners through what we call the Healthy Food Africa. We implement what we call the Food Systems Labs that is funded by UBOS. Now, under the Food Systems Lab, we also have a nutrition clinic, KRC Nutrition Clinic.
You have a clinic here?
We have a clinic here.
Not medical clinic, but food.
In totality, because we are looking at nutrition, but also nutrition is a subset of health. So it's a clinic where we support people to identify, to assess their nutrition status, identify the nutrition challenge, but also support them in a way. Could be through counseling, through provision of a diet plan, through maybe referral to the right place. But that nutrition
what you need to eat,
what you need
at what time.
Exactly. We have that. Now, the UBOS is just one of the factors, but we also have IDP. It's a Belgium kind of occupation for LDP or something like that. So they've supported us in interventions around food systems, but focus on nutrition. Now, what we've been able to do so far at the city, Koto City and Kabarole Research, we've been able to form what we call nutrition coordination committees at city level and at district. Okay. Now, the City Nutrition Coordination Committee, for instance, also has division nutrition coordination committees, and we are here to form the ward nutrition coordination committees. When you go to the district level, we have what we call the Kabarole District Nutrition Coordination Committee, which under it have the sub-county and the town council nutrition coordination committees. Now, we as KRC cannot manage to fight stunting alone. That is why we need the buy-in from the government. Stakeholders. Now, by forming these coordination committees, they are actually going to own the problem. And if government is driving something,
it is easier to solve.
It is easier to solve. So the nutrition coordination committees, which are actually from the different stakeholders, from the different departments of the city and the district, have come together, okay, point out the problem nutrition, okay, and see which contribution each department can bring. If it is water, how can we ensure that there is safe water for our people so that they do not get diarrhea and become malnourished? You get it? If it is education, how can we influence nutritious food at school? And now, by the way, nutrition was not, it wasn't something that was serious in Uganda, okay? But now, we are incorporating, with the support from the nutrition coordination committees, we are incorporating actions that need to be done into the district and the city annual work plan. So whatever activities that the district and city have to do, now we are also embedding nutrition. Okay. What are those interventions around, prevention of stunting? Now that the coordination committee knows that this problem is added, and this is how we can solve it, they have embedded it in their annual plan. Yes. So to address nutrition, we need to ensure that we have the buy-in of the government. Now, there's also something that we've done that is quite interesting, okay? The consumers, okay, and all the stakeholders need to understand that we have a problem. Now we formed what we call the Coalition of the Willing. Coalition of the Willing is a consumer advocacy group, which is advocating for healthy, adequate, nutritious, and safe food in Fort Portal City, but also in Kabarole district. Now, the Coalition of the Willing are people who are, just from the word itself, people who have come up and push that agenda. Okay, are our children getting nutritious food? Is it safe? Okay, do the farmers know how to produce safe food right from the garden? And do the consumers know how to utilize this food? So look at all that chain. Now, this Coalition of the Willing comprises of what we call the Chef Alliance.
Chef?
Yes, the chefs.
Hey.
Yes. Now the chefs, they own restaurants, they run hotels. In most cases, the food that is given out there could be maybe fast food. So we want to influence the hotels, through the Chef Alliance, to go back to the indigenous food that we used to have some menus
that are local,
that have local but diverse. You get a number of those diverse local foods in the menus. The Street Food Alliance, the Street Food Vendors Association, is also part of the Coalition of the Willing. Now, that one we are looking at, because you're not going to stop these people from selling their fast foods, okay, the chips, the chicken. But is it safe? We should not be reusing the oil. We should not be using transformer oil. Just recently, we had news that in Uganda, and especially in Kampala, people are using transformer oil. Just I think 1 week ago. Now, we use reused oil, transformer oil, we expose people to cancers, which is still a problem in nutrition. Now, we also have the farmer groups. Farmer groups ensure that we are using a clean planting material. We are not spraying on food or vegetables that is going to be eaten tomorrow. Okay, we are maybe supporting them to have organic kind of pesticides. Okay, these that are okay for the body. We have now the one that is very interesting. We have media, but there is also one that is very interesting. It's called the Orugali women. Now, Orugali is a concept. Orugali is a
this weight basket where people sit and eat from one point. I'm from this soil, so I know.
Exactly. Now, that is the
actually the Orugali for us we grew up using. If it was not this real Orugali, then we would dig a hole here. We somehow burn these banana leaves, banana leaves. Then we smoke them a little bit then we put there, then we put our food there, and then we eat. All of you eat from there.
Perfect.
If you didn't have the real Orugali that they make, the soil will become your Orugali.
Now that's the concept we are again using. We have 10, they're more like ambassadors, okay?
Yes.
10 women spread across the district, okay? Almost every sub-county, but it's a group, okay? Now, we ensure that these women appreciate, the traditional food. the indigenous food served in that way, looking at the preparation, looking at the different foods that are actually nutritious, locally grown in Tooro here. Now, through the urugali, people have actually appreciated that we've been living our healthy food,
means
going now to this, the fast foods, too much oils and what. Now, through the urugali, we've been able to do a number of festivals. Every time there is maybe a cultural festival or probably a celebration anywhere, we also incorporate the urugali, prepare all that food, okay, and people eat and actually appreciate it. Recently, we had one in Kasenda. It was an interesting one. Imagine in Kasenda sub-county, people say, I mean, we have all this food here and we've not been eating it. This is actually, we should go back to this together. It's the reason as why our children are no longer healthy and no longer bright in class, because we left this food that we are eating here at home. Look at that.
Well, thank you so much, Comrade Eric. I've been talking here to Mr. Eric Oteba, who is the program manager and food systems and nutrition at KRC, and also Miss Uwera Caroline, project office nutritionist. All of them are nutritionists, but the point here to take is that 40% of our children in Tooro and nationally are stunted. They are stunted because they're not having nutritious food, and that is not because we don't have the nutritious food. No, we have it, but you are not giving to their children. So it's not that we are going to import it from any country. The foods are here. We only don't have the knowledge of what type of food we should eat, when we should eat it, how we should prepare it, and the likes. And so this is the work of KRC, and I'm glad I've been meeting Comrade Eric, who actually knows a lot of information about this, and I'm sure we're going to be having more of the same in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.